I'm live, I'm live. Live from the hotel room. I've never done a YouTube live before. I haven't done a YouTube video in a long time. So, yeah. Man, I'm not really prepared for this, but I'm just really bored and I'm not really that sleepy as of yet. I can't really sleep. You'll probably hear why in a little bit, but hope everybody's doing good out there tonight. I am here in Ashland, the lovely city of Ashland, baby. I draw that line in the sand. I'm staying somewhere in deepest, darkest Ashland, baby. You know, doing my thing. But there's a couple people watching this. I probably would have had a little bit more success doing this on Facebook, but somebody sent me a message on the YouTube, one of our YouTube videos, and he was like, "You guys haven't done a video in like over a year." I actually think it's been close to 2 years, but to to be honest with you, I lost interest in making videos. I just did. We were doing the WrestleManiacs thing there for a while, and that was fun. But there's so many wrestling shows now that it became not fun. And I was doing a lot of overtime days at work, and I just, I couldn't do it, couldn't handle it. So, but I'm trying to figure out how this works. So I've got the chat. I think I've got it on, but I've only got 3 people watching me. So if somebody can say something that's watching to say hi, flip me off, something, I don't know. Ask me questions. I'm here for a little while. I may, if I don't have much more success. That horror critic, what's going on, brother? So I know the chat. I can see the chat. That's good. I'm gonna stay on here for at least 5 minutes to see if you know, see what we can get done. But yeah, holla at your boy. So I'm laying down. Had a long day. My wife has had kidney surgery earlier today, which wasn't that big of a success, and she's pissed off about it. I'm pissed off about it. It's been a long, ongoing thing. So I've been stuck here in Ashland for a couple of days, and Ashland sucks. I mean, our buddy Creator Fan lives here. I'm sorry. I mean, it's bigger than Prestonsburg, but it's a shithole. Like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, there's really not much in Ashland. There's a mall that's probably one of the worst malls like I've ever been to in my life. What else do they have? They have Cheddar's in Ashland. Um, Ashland sucks though. Like, it's just, it's awful. There's nothing really to do here. Hit up the Goodwill yesterday. They didn't have anything. Um, and we went to the local Walmart. Stroll on down to your Walmart, baby, and get your provisions. So, yeah, it sucked here in Ashland the last 2 days. Boner Lee, we need Dead Pit back. Dead Pit will never die. I mean, as long as I'm around, I'll make sure the website stays up. I'll pay for it, even though like it's been kind of going in the hole the last couple of years. Um, Me and Aaron hardly ever see each other. Last time we saw each other, we went to the Jason Isbell concert in February. That was the last time I saw him. I chat with him a few times a week. Um, he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's having another kid, which I mean, God bless America, was the um, Fry Children's Home. They're going to have to call it, but yeah. So he's not going to have much time to do anything. So I mean, I've got a couple of ideas floating around. Um, Whether or not we have time to do it, that's another thing. In the meantime, you can listen to Stephen Dana's podcast. Two Against is on deadpit.com. So, the evening with Deadpit thing, I mean, we may do more of those if he's available. Um, but, I mean, who knows, man? Like, there's, we could sit down and bullshit about our lives and how much they've changed in the last 4, 5 years. And it would take up 3 or 4 hours. It's ridiculous. I mean, when Dead Pit was at its peak, now I look back at it, our personal lives were probably at an all time low. That's weird how things like that work. But we love doing Dead Pit. We love Dead Pit. Um, what we accomplished with it, and the horror thing was at an all time high around that time too. I think it was one of those things where we were there at the right time, and we had opportunities to talk to a lot of these people. And nowadays, they're just not as accessible to do the interviews and stuff. How do I go back and let's see? I don't know what the hell I'm doing on this. I just missed. I just missed my method. Damn it. That that's gonna show the bed. Uh, let's see. I'm locked on. All right, hopeful for the. Oh, okay, I see it now. I'm sorry. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done the YouTube live thing. I may do more of them, just to. I mean, every once in a while. Boner Lee, do you miss doing it, or did you just get burnt out on it? I got burnt out on it, man. Um, I mean, to get into that, and I want to be on here for a little while. Fuck it, I ain't got anything else to do. But now I can't get them off there. Okay. Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. I got burnt out on the movies. So much so that, to be honest with you, man, there's probably a handful of horror movies that I watch a year. Uncle Bill, I think, or Aaron, he he watches quite a bit more. I don't know, burnout. I'm still burnt out on it. I love doing the show and I love bullshitting though. I mean, I've always, love talking to people, love bullshitting with buddies. So I never got sick of doing that. That's for sure. Let's see. That horror critic. Are you hopeful for this new Halloween movie? I can honestly say that I'm not excited for it, which is weird because I'm a huge Halloween fan. I'm kind of like you. Like, I mean, I'm hoping it's good, but at the same time, I'm not really expecting it to be good at all. Like, I know that's I want to watch it for sure. That'd probably be one that I go and see opening weekend. But damn man, shit. Um, I'm just not really expecting much from it. It'd be cool to see Jamie Lee Curtis back again. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. Wrestling, yeah, man. Don't even get me started on that shit. There's just too much of it. I watch wrestling out of habit now. I usually don't tune in until about 9:30, and I fast forward through the majority of it. I DVR it. Yeah, man, it's I don't know. We'd always used to say, "Oh, this time of year," but even even like around Royal Rumble to WrestleMania when it's supposed to be at its peak, it was not very good then either. So, and they're coming back to Pikeville in July, and I still don't have tickets. But getting back to the Dead Pit thing, we will do more. We will do more stuff in the future, but I just devoting regular, you know, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever. I just don't want to do that because I know that we can't do that. The shoot interview. I don't know, man. Eric, I have no idea. That would be a good. That would be a good one. We could do it live on YouTube for free. It could happen. So, 14 people, boss. Have you watched Terrifier yet? No, I have not, but it reminds me of a movie that I have. Is Terrifier a sequel to, what was the fucking movie? The clown looks exactly the same in it, though, so I'm thinking it's a sequel. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I have not seen it. Yeah, that horror critic, you are correct, sir. Um, All Hallows Eve. I've seen that movie. I actually really like that movie. So, Terrifier is a sequel to All Hallows Eve. I've got that one on. I think it's on just DVD, if I'm not mistaken. We always keep it creepy eye that, that's what I do, baby. I draw that line in the sand. I dare anybody to cross it. What the fuck time is it? It's 10:35. Feels a lot later than that for some reason. Maybe because I've been up since like 6 o'clock this morning. Almost looks like the Dawn of the Dead poster. Son of a bitch. I may check that one out. Is it on? It should be on Netflix at some point, I'm sure. For anyone that's just tuning in, I am in Ashland, Kentucky right now, unfortunately. and I'm in probably one of only two actual hotels. They have like all kinds of crack horror hotels, like the Ashland Inn and the Winchester Inn and shit like that. But I'd be afraid that I would catch syphilis or something if I slept on one of those beds. So, but I'm doing the video just because I'd realize it's been a long time since we did a Dead Pit video on YouTube, which mainly, like, the last few ones that I've done was on Facebook. So I may be doing more in the future on YouTube. So, and maybe we can get Uncle Bill, Aaron Fry, to do a few of them at some point. We will see. But I'm glad you guys are doing well and everything, and you know, have not been going to conventions. No, man, I was getting burnt out on conventions years ago though. So that was, I mean, conventions are fun. You can have some good parties at conventions. Physically though, like partying, I'll tell you a funny story. I think it was the same year I'd lost all that weight on New Year's, and I hadn't drunk since I'd lost all that weight. So I almost died. I drank so much that night. So that kind of, I don't drink that much anymore just because of that. So if you go to a horror convention, you pretty much you're forced to drink. I mean, it's peer pressure, you know. So, but let's see, he's asking about the poster videos. Let's see. Yeah, I always loved the growing up in the '80s. A lot of the kids now they'll never know how cool it was to actually walk into a video store and just stumble across this crazy shit like the forest, and, you know, Toxic Avenger and Faces of Death, shit like that. What's funny is like I can remember the convention scene when we were like going batshit over $20 for an autograph, because when we first started going, it was like $5, $10 to sign your item, and maybe 20 if you were getting an 8x10 or something. That was like the peak. Now it's like I think 40 is pretty much the standard now or something. So it's yeah, it's definitely ridiculous. And a lot of the time they want to let you take a picture without paying extra. So, did I see Get Out? No, I was pretty much warned to not see it. So, do you think I should? I mean, I've heard from a few people that said it was stupid. So, I may check it out at some point. Hey, Rick. Castlevania fan or Cvania fan? Sorry. No, probably no more Dead Pit on the roads. Never say never, but that would involve a lot of things having to just, you know, come together like a puzzle. Yeah, Home Sweet Home's that one's that's a very interesting movie for sure. Makes it even better is when you if you know that it was just filmed over like a weekend. The home video market for horror movies in the early '80s was insane. It's cool. I may check it out. I've most of the movies like that I've got on Vudu, so if there's anybody out there that still doesn't use their digital copies, contact me. I've got I've got a couple people that still supply me with some good stuff, but I need more. Feed me more. Yeah, I think it was taken out because we had the Halloween theme in there or something. That was why. It's on Dead Pit on the Road season one though. If you want to track down that DVD, I think is it season? Yeah, it's season one. That would be cool, Mac boy. That's why I won't be able to sleep tonight. About every hour, every half hour, really. But I really appreciate the kind words about the show and stuff like that. I miss doing the show in a way, but life happens, man. It's crazy. Rob Zombie doing Three from Hell. I'm kind of interested in seeing it. I think that those movies were by far the best. You know, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. Those were the best movies that he ever did. There was never anything that he did that was remotely in the ballpark of those. So those characters and all that, he kind of hit a nerve, and I'm interested in checking it out. You know, it could be a piece of shit. Who knows? But I think with those characters in it, it's going to be at least fun. Anybody else got anything? I'm probably gonna. Yeah, that's kinda how it went, man. Like I was saying earlier, when we did the Dead Pit show, when it was at its peak, 10 years, it was really hit its peak about 9 or 10 years ago. Uh, the show was like we were generating some semi-serious money with the show, and we were on major websites on a regular basis. But our life sucked, like our personal life. I mean, and it wasn't because of the show. It was just because that was our life. You know, we didn't have much going on. You know, but when you're doing a podcast, um, if if you're doing it on a regular basis, I mean, you've got to me, you would either have to be making a whole lot of money at doing it, so you can do it full time, or you just don't have anything else going on like we did. You know, we didn't make enough at it to even be close to a full time job. Wet movie, what's going on, my brother? Life is good. I can't complain. I'm just a little lonely here in a hotel room by myself tonight. So, how's things going with you, Brandon? I don't. I know you're still doing videos like crazy, but never say never. That's what I said earlier. We, who knows? We could if we get together. I haven't seen. I haven't seen Uncle Bill in about. It's been about 4 or 5 months. So we both been busy with our own shit. He didn't even come down for WrestleMania this year. Now that's fucked up. That's a first right there. It's probably the first time in many years that happened. But you know he's having another kid. He's got 3 kids already. He's not gonna have much free time. You know, I knew that back when he had his first kid. And things slowed down quite a bit. But taking the fact that he works full time, he has actually 2 different jobs. I work full time. I'm married. We both, you know, getting those stars to align, if you will, for us to do anything. It's not going to happen very often. We may do it at some point though. I do have a 4K player. I bought like 4 or 5 4K movies. Uh, I got the Star Wars Last Jedi. I haven't watched it yet, by the way. Uh, that movie Wonder, which I enjoyed. I thought it was all right. Sarah bought that 50 Shades Free or whatever it is, and I got Terminator 2 because it was cheap. But I don't. No, I don't really buy a whole lot of Blu-rays. I prefer to get the code. It takes up less room. Ever do any interviews that turned out to be awkward? Um, there's one that we didn't do. I think we talked about it years ago, where I'd spoke to this lady a couple of times, and she just flaked out on us when we tried to do the interview, and it was Jeremy Rain Dreyfus. Uh, we had like the interview scheduled 2 different times with her, and then the second time she was just apologizing and was like, "We want to make this right with you, but I don't want to. I don't want to set another time. I'll just email you." I'm like, I mean, how hard is it to just fucking be by your cell phone? you know. So that one was weird. I can't really remember a whole lot though. We talked to Gary Clark from Day of the Dead for like 3 hours one day. watching a video earlier of a Panasonic VHS and Blu-ray combo player. I have never heard of that. That's a new one. Guys, I am going to log off for the night. I really enjoyed doing little, I know it's like a half an hour video or whatever, but I'll definitely try to, you know, figure some stuff out and get some more stuff up on the Dead Pit YouTube page. Follow us on the Facebook page. We'll do some stuff on there. Maybe do some stuff on my page, the West Vance Facebook. If you don't have me on there, I'm on Facebook. I don't post a whole lot on there either, but it is what it is. I got motivated. I saw a post. Somebody, I think his name is Eric. I can't pronounce his last name. Was like, you guys haven't done a video in so long. So I wanted to do something. I felt bad. I was like, damn, why has it been that fucking long? So I know it's not like a big fucking like edited together thing, but hey, hopefully it suffices for now. So have a good night, everybody. Love you guys. Keep it creepy. And, keep checking out. Hey, we do have the new Two Against podcast up on deadpit.com. Hey, Marco, have a good night, brother. It has been a while, but, hopefully next go around won't be 2 years. We'll do another video here in a couple weeks, hopefully. All right. You guys have a good night.